At the end of the day, I believe in justice, but I also believe in protecting your peace. And those two things don't always hold hands and sing kumbaya. Hey, Survivor! Welcome to episode 137 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. In this episode, we'll talk about the importance of justice and things to consider for the sake of your health and well-being. But first, let's self-regulate with a 4-for-8 breathing exercise, if you'd like. You're safe here. We'll inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. Ready? Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you notice in your body? Grab your notebook and pen, and let's dig in. Hey, Survivor! Welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Lesley. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you. A couple years ago, I shared some content on 3 things to consider if you're longing to take legal action against the narcissist. And this was video content, and I shared some insights and experiences that I had had personally and also that I had observed up close, and just some food for thought from a holistic standpoint. And this past week, I received a comment under that content from a viewer, and I did reply to them. And as I was replying and thinking about it, a lot's happened over the last couple of years, and I think that that's an important part of the healing journey, is just the growth, the learning, the evolution. And I welcome that, embrace that. I'm counting on that. And I thought that it was worth revisiting just this idea in general of the pursuit of justice and things to consider. Because although I agreed with a lot of what the viewer shared, I feel like I've learned some things and experienced some things over the last year and a half in particular, having sat through a lot of court hearings, criminal cases, juvenile cases, spoken truth to power, supported and advocated for and coached victims through their respective situations. And it's really given me a lot of additional insights and perspective that I thought were worthy of revisiting the topic. So this viewer commented, "Justice is a huge part of healing. What you're saying is a lot of the advice given to people to not pursue justice. Look at the U.S. Can the people of the country just choose not to do anything and reclaim their life, as you say? Absolutely not. Justice in a fair world is important, else society collapses. This applies to something smaller like family or even something larger like country. The strategies through threat is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. It seems like the mental health community only offers the flight response as an option to victims. That is dangerous advice. Sometimes fight is a very valid path, and people should be able to make that decision according to their circumstances." I replied, "Hi, thanks for watching and commenting. You seem to have a strong sense of justice, and I'm here for it. I agree that it's important to fight for justice. Everyone's journey is different, and each person has to decide how to walk their path. This 2-year-old YouTube video contains things to consider, a disclaimer, and just a couple of examples. Since then, I've been coaching, supporting, and advocating for survivors in criminal and juvenile courts and spoken truth to power in city council meetings, school district board meetings, and state board of education meetings. Plus, I'm on my own journey to justice as the alleged murderer's trial, see my earlier videos about him, starts next month. I've learned that old, outdated laws and policies, loopholes, corruption, politics, money, narcissism, etc. can lead to delayed and disappointing judgments in these cases. It's hard to change systems, especially corrupt ones, and the system isn't designed to make anyone whole, victims or perpetrators. I'm not saying don't fight, but choose your battles and weapons wisely, and set healthy boundaries for yourself. I think it's unwise to tie your well-being directly to a legal outcome. Your health and healing starts with you. Thanks again for your insights. At the end of the day, I believe in justice, but I also believe in protecting your peace. And those two things don't always hold hands and sing kumbaya. So, with that being said, here's an update of things to consider before pursuing legal action against a narcissist. And this could include testifying as a witness in a case. This could include filing a lawsuit. It could include filing for custody, or it could include pressing charges. Whatever the case may be, here are some things to consider. One is that systems are slow. They're imperfect and often unjust. A lot of times laws are written to maintain order, but not to necessarily restore victims or to rehabilitate perpetrators. And a lot of these laws are outdated. I don't know about where you live, but some of these laws were written a long time ago, and the wording just doesn't even fit like where we are in society nowadays. Like, it doesn't account for technological advances and just the way that things are set up in modern day society. And narcissists will often weaponize any kind of delays. If there are any loopholes to jump through, they are jumping. And even resorting to manipulative tactics in the courtroom in partnership with their representatives, their attorneys. Number 2, intent matters more than outcome. Some things that you can ask yourself are, why am I doing this? Why am I fighting? Is it revenge? Am I looking for validation? Is it for protection? Is it for closure? What's your why? And is this a step towards empowerment or entanglement? Number 3, legal battles cost emotionally, financially, physically, and more. It's exhausting going through legal proceedings. And you can go through months of hearings and still not get the outcome that in your mind you had envisioned. And not only that, but when you are, say, going through a trial, like I shared about the barn fire trial and supporting the family who were victims of arson by some juveniles. Every hearing, it's like we're looking at the rubble of what was this structure that they had memories in, their possessions, family heirlooms, things that are just irreplaceable. And several children barely escaped with their lives before the whole building collapsed. But when you go through trials, when you go through a series of hearings, you're constantly getting re-traumatized by images and testimony, details, all of it, or just even the sight of, say, the people or person who violated your right to just live your life, or damaged your things, burned a structure down on your property, and almost injured or even killed several children. So that can be really traumatizing, going through all of that. Even if it's part of the process, I mean, it's like you're being exposed and your body doesn't know the difference. And so you're being subjected to that fear, that experience all over again. Your body's like reliving it. When you are constantly subjected to chronic stress, you got your cortisol spiking, your immune system weakening, it can take you out. That's not good for you or anyone else for that matter. And then suddenly you're not fit to fight. Number 4, justice shouldn't be the sole path to wholeness. As I mentioned, the system is not designed to make anyone whole. Real healing, doesn't hinge on a verdict, or it shouldn't, because a lot of times what you think should happen, or what you think is a fair and just punishment, isn't the way that it plays out. And so then it feels unfair, it feels unjust. There's so many factors that go into judgments in trials, whether it's an adjudication hearing or a criminal trial. I mean, they're looking at, okay, can we rehabilitate this person, and how old are they, and all these different things. What you think needs to happen and what actually is the result can be two completely different things. And that can even be re-traumatizing. So you can still tell the truth, stand 10 toes down, and create a vibrant life for yourself, regardless of what a judge or jury decides, by making sure that you're doing things that are going to support your health and well-being, your lifestyle, exercise, attitude or mindset, nutrition. These are things that you can control that can promote your health and well-being so that you are fit for the fight, but also so that you've strengthened your system to be able to handle and to be able to think clearly on how to respond, not react to whatever the outcome may be. And that's a powerful thing. So here are some tools that you can use in order to help process and navigate these kinds of situations when you're having to consider or count the costs of taking legal action against the narcissist. One is you can do journaling. And here's a prompt that you can try. Ask yourself, if justice doesn't come in the way that I envisioned, what do I still have power over? And then here are a few questions that you can ask yourself before pursuing legal action. 1, how safe is this for me? Emotionally, physically, financially? Number 2, what is my motivation? Number 3, what support and boundaries do I have in place? That's not to say don't fight for justice, but giving consideration, thoughtful consideration to what is going to be the healthiest way for you to pursue justice should you choose to do so, and how to go about it in a way that doesn't compromise your health and well-being. I'm right there with you as I'm on my own journey to justice right now. Trial starts in a month, and I've already gone to a couple of hearings this year, but even if you listen to some of my previous episodes, I share like some things that came up that I wasn't expecting, that were triggering, and how I had to move to kind of set myself up for success to even face that situation, those hearings. These are things that I'm going to be asking myself too. So, survivor, I want to encourage you to not consider, or not confuse rather, silence with surrendering, or confuse action with power. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes the power move is prioritizing your peace. Remember, you can fight for what's true, but your healing starts with you. Thanks for tuning in, Survivor. You are worthy of justice and healing. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. The fear is real when it comes to processing your experience. I know you feel stressed and exhausted with a pit in your stomach at the thought of being sucked back in and lied to again. You feel like a horrible person for going no or low contact, like maybe I'm the narcissist. The fear, self-blaming, and shaming is something we all go through as survivors. I want you to understand that you're not alone and you're not crazy. Every person who's ever been in a narcissistic relationship has felt what you're feeling right now. If this resonates with you and you're like, I'm done with fear, I'm done playing small, I know who I am, and I am not the narcissist, I want you to say yes. Today's the day. I want you to go right now to closeyourcoachingsession.com, and I want you to book your call because we're going to do this together. I'm going to hold your hand, and we're going to overcome this fear so that you can begin a long-lasting journey of healing. Let's do this. If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.